Did you know there's a disease even more terrifying than the Black Death that once ravaged Europe? No one is truly safe, and no vaccine offers full protection. With horrifying symptoms, a rapid rate of transmission, and a shockingly high death toll, this disease stunned scientists across the globe. In this video, we'll uncover the chilling truth about this deadly illness hidden behind the veil of history, and why it still poses a terrifying threat today. In 1815, 1 in every 4 deaths in England was caused by it. Over the past 200 years, this disease has claimed the lives of 1 billion people, more than all wars and natural disasters combined. Even today, it remains the deadliest infectious disease on the planet. But do you really know what we're talking about? We're talking about Mycobacterium tuberculosis, the bacteria behind tuberculosis, humanity's long-standing arch-enemy. Right now, 1 in every 4 people on Earth is infected with it. And guess what? You might be one of them. So, why don't we hear more about tuberculosis? Because the White Death is the ultimate silent predator. It spreads easily, yet hides in plain sight. Quiet, patient, and precise. It doesn't kill recklessly. Instead, it works in harmony with your immune system, evading attacks and adapting perfectly. And when it comes to resilience, it's nearly indestructible. What makes the tuberculosis bacterium so dangerously effective? It's the perfect human predator, a master of infiltration. Typically, it enters the body through the airways and makes its way to the lungs, a vast living cave system guarded by billions of macrophages, fierce warrior cells that patrol and destroy intruders. But the moment TB arrives, it is immediately attacked and swallowed alive. Sadly, this is exactly its terrifying strategy. The White Death is the most dangerous kind of parasite, one that targets the immune system itself. When macrophages detect a threat, they waste no time. They engulf the invader inside a phagosome and unleash a torrent of acid, breaking it down into tiny fragments. However, tuberculosis bacteria have evolved a thick, waxy coating that makes them completely resistant to the cell's acidic defenses. Even worse, they hijack and reprogram the macrophage, our own immune cell, turning it into the perfect home. Like a miniature vampire, the parasite quietly drains the life from the cell from within. Tuberculosis, TB, replicates at an astonishingly slow pace, while other harmful microbes can multiply up to 60 times faster, overwhelming the body before the immune system has a chance to fight back. The White Death plays a different game. It doesn't need to explode in numbers. It has already won simply by being there, perfectly adapted to live inside you. There's no need to rush. Once the host cell is drained of life and dies, the bacteria swiftly move on to infect new macrophages. Though they operate in stealth, the decaying remains they leave behind eventually sound the alarm, triggering a powerful immune response. Your body quickly senses that something's wrong and launches its defense forces. But here's the chilling part. It's all part of the bacteria's master plan. Macrophages and a host of immune cells rush in to eliminate the invader, but the bacteria's thick, fortress-like cell wall makes them nearly immune to most attacks. The terrifying part, these parasites can infect the very cells trying to destroy them. When your immune system can't kill them outright, it turns to Plan B, containment. That's when your body creates a special kind of immune fortress called a granuloma, a dense, white mass that traps the invaders inside. At the heart of the infection lies a core of dying and infected macrophages, a cozy hideout and buffet for the tuberculosis bacterium. This deadly hub is encircled by other immune cells, forming a biological cage that traps the danger inside. TB thrives in this silent prison, sometimes for years, shielded from medications and cleverly sabotaging the immune system's strongest weapons by releasing chemicals that suppress their activation. This is the stalemate phase of tuberculosis, when the infection is dormant but far from gone. The bacteria quietly persist inside the body, and astonishingly, this is happening right now in up to 2 billion people worldwide. But for 1 in 10 of them, the disease will awaken and become active. Active tuberculosis is a real emergency, not a sudden explosion, but a slow, burning crisis. When the immune system can no longer hold the line, granulomas, the body's last defense, rupture, unleashing the bacteria. Suddenly, your lungs become a chaotic war zone, overrun with dead macrophages and an invasion of fresh, hostile bacteria. Your immune system, caught off guard, goes into a frenzy. Waves of immune cells surge from your bloodstream, racing to the infected zones. They unleash a full-scale inflammatory response, flooding your lungs with fluids in a desperate attempt to fight back. But your lungs weren't built for war. In their desperation, the immune cells attack with little regard for the damage they cause, turning your own body into collateral damage. They rush around, wielding flamethrowers, desperately trying to wipe out the infection, yet leaving a trail of destruction behind. Meanwhile, inside your body, fluids and dead tissue are building up, choking your airways and making it harder and harder to breathe. You start coughing violently, sometimes even coughing up blood. But this isn't just a symptom. It's part of the bacteria's master plan. With every cough, millions of them hitch a ride on microscopic droplets, ready to infect their next host. You develop a relentless high fever and begin to lose weight rapidly as your body enters a state of extreme stress. Over time, you wither away, becoming a shadow of your former self. Even with medical treatment, this stage can linger for weeks or even months, and it's dangerously serious. Without proper treatment, tuberculosis doesn't just go away. It slowly invades your body, not over days, but over months, years, or even decades. For children or those with weakened immune systems, the body simply can't keep up. And in that long, quiet battle, the disease wins. The bacteria spread to other organs, lung function collapses, and the patient fades until death. In 2023 alone, 1.3 million people died this way. This isn't just a health issue, it's a human nightmare. Tuberculosis is the worst kind of problem. Tuberculosis doesn't storm in like COVID-19 did, triggering global lockdowns and mass panic. Instead, it burns slowly, like a quiet fire. It kills gradually, so slowly, in fact, that we barely pay attention. Tuberculosis doesn't storm in like COVID-19 did, triggering global lockdowns and mass panic. Instead, it burns slowly, like a quiet fire. It kills gradually, so slowly, in fact, that we barely pay attention. TB doesn't aim to kill you. It wants to survive and spread. And to do that, it takes advantage of how we live. You're most likely to infect those closest to you, your family, your friends, your co-workers, your neighbors, the people you spend the most time with. While an average COVID-19 patient transmits the virus to 2 or 3 people, someone with active TB can infect 5 to 15 others in a single year. Most infections happen through tiny droplets released when someone coughs or sneezes, silent, invisible, and easily inhaled. This often happens in crowded, poorly ventilated homes or workplaces, the exact conditions that fueled the explosion of tuberculosis during the Industrial Revolution. And even today, wherever unplanned and overcrowded urban sprawl occurs, from Lagos to St. Petersburg, the White Death tends to rise along with it. Today, most cases of active tuberculosis, the contagious form of the disease, can be completely cured with a 4-month course of 4 different antibiotics. So if that's the case, why does TB remain the deadliest infectious disease on Earth? Between 1940 and 1965, humanity developed several powerful drugs to fight tuberculosis, finally making it curable. A true triumph of human innovation. But we failed at one crucial step, making the cure accessible to everyone. While TB is now almost extinct in much of Europe, the US, and the Middle East, it continues to pose a deadly threat in many other parts of the world. Tuberculosis, just TB, continues to silently claim millions of lives, especially in Africa, South America, and Asia. In 2022 alone, 2/3 of all TB cases were concentrated in just 6 countries: India, China, Indonesia, the Philippines, Pakistan, and Nigeria. Alarmingly, nearly half of all TB-related deaths occurred in Southeast Asia. The problem is, much like climate change, TB progresses slowly, so it's often overlooked rather than tackled head-on. This neglect has allowed more and more strains of TB to evolve resistance to antibiotics. That's a serious issue, especially considering how we've nearly stopped developing new drugs. During the first 25 years of the antibiotic era, humanity created 8 different drug classes to fight TB. But in the 47 years that followed, from 1965 to 2012, not a single new class was developed. Developing new drugs is incredibly expensive, and for a long time, there was no coordinated effort to eliminate tuberculosis. The reason? Simply not enough profit to spark action. While a vaccine does exist, it's more than a century old and only moderately effective. But in 2012, everything began to change. Scientists developed 2 new classes of drugs to treat TB, a major breakthrough. And now, we may be standing at a turning point as more effective vaccines are on the horizon. Even better, companies that once made COVID tests have also created a rapid test for TB. This gives us a real shot, a chance to push this disease back until it disappears for good. But that will only happen if enough people know about TB and care about stopping it, just like you do now. A century ago in the United States, there were nearly as many hospital beds for tuberculosis patients as there were for all other illnesses and injuries combined. The White Death, as TB was ominously known, was one of the leading causes of death. Then, one day, it simply wasn't anymore. Thanks to medicine and collective action, we changed the course of history, and we can do it again. Yesterday, 4,000 people around the world died from tuberculosis. But the truth is, we don't have to accept a world where thousands still die from a disease we already know how to cure. Tuberculosis, the White Death, has haunted humanity for millions of years. But it doesn't have to haunt our future. It's time for us to move forward on this journey. No looking back.